Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if you're a new subscriber, welcome. This is Fit and Fab Celeb and you're watching my video today to see how I do some of my leg workout day. It is a quad dominant leg workout. I do this once a week for the quad dominant, and then for the rest of the 2 leg days, I usually have 3 leg days in a week. I do glutes and hams and glutes, and then I do 2 upper body days in a week as well. So we're starting off the day with weighted walking lunges. It's a total of 4 sets, and then we'll move to the next exercise. I do not have much to say about this exercise, just that you can see that I keep myself sort of like slightly tilted forward so I can hit a little bit of glutes as well as the quadriceps, and I repeat that 4 times. Squeeze out the entire juice of my legs. This is the second set, and we're going to just carry on like this for the next sets until we're done, and then we'll move into the second exercise. Stay tuned. Four sets completed on the walking lunges, and we're moving into the legs extension. This is a plate loaded legs extension, and we're using, for me it's a heavy weight, but you can use a moderate to heavy weight. Making sure to get the stretch of the quadriceps of those quadriceps and contracting them as well, making sure to squeeze out the entire juice. And we're going to do that for another 4 sets. Let's go. The next exercise I'm performing is the calf raise. I'm going to be doing this on the hack squat machine because that's the next available machine to me. I like doing my calf exercises as maybe the second or the third exercise. I do not like to keep it to the last because I still want to have enough energy, enough glucose to carry out the exercise so I can get the most out of it. So I don't tend to leave it as the last bit of my exercise, and that is why I see that they have been growing nicely. Alright, the next exercise I'm moving into is the reverse B stance hack squat. I particularly love this exercise because it helps for a good stretch of those glute muscles as well as the quadriceps. So if you're looking for an exercise that targets these two muscles, you should be including this in your workout if you have access to this machine. I absolutely love them, but they're a killer because once you finish one leg, the other leg is like, I'm done now, even though you've not done it. And it doesn't matter which leg you start with, it's always painful either ways. Let's go. The next exercise I'm doing is the good morning on the hack squat machine. This takes a lot of skill to be able to apply and actually achieve what you aim for. The disadvantage with this exercise is that your shoulders may hurt. You might actually get scars. I do get scars on this exercise when I'm trying to do it. Look at me trying to figure out which placement of my foot is actually going to give me the best bang for my buck. Yeah, but it's not an easy exercise to execute. If you find a machine that gives you a better shoulder like pad placement, that would be really good. It's really, because of the stability, it can be very effective. It's just very painful to execute, but yeah, we gotta do what we gotta do. Yeah, let's go. And as a finisher for the weight training for the day, I am doing strict form hack squats on the hack squat machine. I lighten the weight and I put my feet really close together and making sure I get that deep squat so I can stretch the quads really properly. Normally I would do higher weight, but because this was the last set, I decided to apply proper full range of motion in this exercise, and already I'm spent from everything I've been doing so far, so I wanted to finish up with something that is, although easy, but has more discipline applied to it. So I'm gonna be doing 4 of this, and then we are signing out.